G'day you mob, Blackie here. Quiet night in front of the tank, watching the prawns. As you may have noticed, the first prawn I had the camera on is a little bit different from this one, because this one's got whopping great big long arms, longer than life itself. That's the big boy, he's the boy. And he has big long arms. Come and show me your big long arms, boy. He does try to have a go at some of the bigger bristlenose. Some of the smaller ones have succumbed to his big claws, and he does eat them. Potentially why I have not had fresh baby bristlenose in this tank for a month or more. And then you've got whoop. This one is definitely a similar size, if not bigger in the bottom. Oh, there's two in the shop, Blackie, not just one. Two females. This one over the back is buried. She has a belly full of babies. Ooh, dance for me. This one was buried. Did have a belly full of babies. I'm assuming they're all developing somewhere in the tank, or have been eaten by guppies maybe, other prawns maybe. I'm not quite sure. I've never actually had these guys breed for me in a tank before, so I don't know how big the babies are when they are released from the confines of the mother's innards or bits. But they are just so cool to watch, dancing through the water with gay abandon, no homo. Just super cool critters. I have just dumped some boiled pumpkin in here. Unfortunately, both pieces of pumpkin have fallen in exactly the same location, even though I did drop them in different spots. But the bristlenose still love it no matter where it lies. Or a couple of little cherry shrimps. It's like Lady and the Tramp. They're sucking on a long piece of pasta and they're going to meet in the middle. Oh look, this guy's doing a dance now. Sorry about the reflections. I've got lights on. Oh, what's he done? Into the darkness with you, long arms. So yeah, bit of stuff going on back here. Plants are going nuts. Somewhere in the back, buried beneath the other big stuff, is the Hygrophila pinnatophyta. I really wanted it to grow nuts, but it's kind of getting dwarfed by the other stuff. But it does have a couple of suckers shooting off down the bottom. Bacopa growing good. I can't remember what the name of this big green fluffy looking thing is. Guppy grass. Java moss for days. Definitely needs a trim. Might be on the cards tomorrow. More bacopa in the back. More guppy grass in the front. Big water lilies. Actually, both my water lilies in here have gone to pot. I don't know what happened. They've just died in the bum. I may have failed with the addition of my CO2, the DIY CO2 system. Apparently one of the good things with CO2 is to maintain a stable CO2 system, and I couldn't really guarantee that stability with the DIY system, having it run quite well for a few days, but then once the there was too much water in the bicarb side, then I think the reaction was lessened, so the pressure decreased, hence you get less gas producing. So I'm going to back off on that potentially for the next month or so and see if my lilies come back to life. Oh, look at his eating parts. That's actually quite nice, Blackie. If you could hold still for a minute. Going to town on some fish flakes. That's so cool watching the bits move inside their head. And off he goes to terrorise someone else. Now I find it funny that the prawns aren't. They don't seem. Maybe the shrimp are just too quick to get out of the way, but my shrimp population is just absolutely flourishing. They don't seem to become victims of the prawns at all. Whereas definitely guppies were getting torn up by the prawns, and I had witnessed many, well, not many, but a few small bristlenose in the jaws of the prawns getting devoured. What an unkind death that must be, to be chewed apart by a prawn. Anyhow, haven't put much out lately, so I thought, why not? Why not chuck up a little bit of this tank? It's still nice to look at. It's been a little bit neglected, as have most of my tanks, but I've got a day off work tomorrow, so I'm going to do a boatload of water changes, maybe some trimming and rescaping, perhaps. Probably not rescaping, but if I trim some stuff off, I've got to put it somewhere. And we'll see what happens. So thanks for stopping by. Bit of a sedate, chilled out, Blackie mode kind of video. And I'll check you mob later on. Ta-ra.